Hello folks, and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. We've cobbled together a compilation of the videos posted during our 15-day event for Halloween 2024. In this compilation video, we'll show each of those videos from the Halloween 2024 event in order and uninterrupted. Let's get started. Welcome back folks, we're doing something a little different today. You guessed it, we got another viewer request. This time to explain how trick-or-treating became such a popular American Halloween tradition. So as you're planning your tricks and treats for this Halloween, you can better understand how it all started. Imagine a time long ago when the Celts celebrated Samhain, or I'll do my best to properly pronounce it, Samhain. This marked the end of summer and the beginning of winter. On October 31st, the boundary between the living and the dead became thin. Spirits could cross over. The Celts built huge bonfires to honor the dead and ward off spirits. They wore costumes and made sacrifices to their deities. This ancient festival laid the foundation for Halloween. As centuries passed, the Roman Empire, with its own vast pantheon of gods and goddesses, spread its influence across Europe. In an effort to bring the Celtic people under their control, Roman rulers attempted to suppress or assimilate many Celtic traditions. However, Samhain proved remarkably resilient. Rather than being completely eradicated, Samhain was influenced by the introduction of two Roman festivals. The first was Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead. The second was a day in early November, dedicated to Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. This merging of cultural traditions laid the groundwork for the evolution of Samhain into something new. In the 7th century, the Catholic Church established All Saints' Day on November 1st. This holy day was intended to honor all Christian saints, known and unknown. It was followed by All Souls' Day on November 2nd, a day to commemorate the faithful departed. The placement of these holidays was no coincidence. The influence of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day on Samhain was profound. The ancient Celtic festival, with its emphasis on spirits and the supernatural, gradually merged with the Christian holidays. This fusion gave rise to new traditions, some of which bear a striking resemblance to our modern Halloween customs. One such tradition was souling, which emerged in Britain during the Middle Ages. On All Souls' Day, the poor would go door to door, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cakes, small round breads often spiced with cinnamon and currants. This practice, rooted in the belief that prayers could help souls in purgatory, became a forerunner to modern-day trick-or-treating. Another tradition that emerged during this period was guising. Young people would dress up in costumes, often as saints, angels, or biblical figures, and go from house to house. They would sing songs, recite poems, or perform short skits in exchange for food or money. This tradition, with its emphasis on costumes and performance, further shaped the developing character of Halloween. For centuries, Halloween, with its blend of Celtic and Christian traditions, remained largely confined to Europe. However, the waves of immigration from Europe to America during the 19th century, particularly from Ireland and Scotland, brought this celebration to the New World. These immigrants carried with them their memories of Halloween, sharing its customs and traditions with their new communities. Initially, Halloween celebrations in America were met with resistance, particularly in New England, where the strict Protestant beliefs of the early settlers viewed the festival with suspicion. However, as more and more immigrants arrived, Halloween slowly began to gain a foothold in American culture. The celebration of Halloween also varied greatly depending on the region of the United States. In the southern states, where there were fewer Irish and Scottish immigrants, Halloween remained largely unknown. It was in the northern and midwestern states, where these immigrant communities were concentrated, that Halloween found fertile ground to take root and grow. Throughout the 19th century, Halloween in America evolved, gradually shedding some of its more superstitious and religious overtones, and embracing a more festive and community-oriented spirit. The ancient fears associated with Samhain, the concern about restless spirits and the thinning veil between worlds, faded into the background. Games and merriment became central to the celebration. Bobbing for apples, a tradition potentially linked to the Roman festival of Pomona, grew in popularity. Telling ghost stories around a crackling fire, a custom echoing the ancient Celtic bonfires, remained a popular activity. Halloween parties, often hosted by communities or church groups, provided a space for people to gather, socialize, and enjoy the festivities. Yet, despite this evolution, the custom of trick-or-treating as we know it today was still largely absent. Children might have engaged in informal begging for treats, often reciting rhymes or singing songs in exchange for apples or nuts, but the structured, door-to-door tradition was yet to fully materialize. As the 19th century transitioned into the 20th century, Halloween in America continued to evolve. The Victorian era, with its emphasis on romanticism and sentimentality, had a profound influence on the holiday. Halloween parties became more elaborate, featuring intricate decorations, themed costumes, and festive foods. The Victorians embraced the custom of gift-giving, and this extended to Halloween. Children, dressed in costumes often inspired by fairy tales and literature, began knocking on doors, receiving treats like homemade candies, nuts, and small toys. This marked a significant step towards the establishment of trick-or-treating as a central Halloween tradition. Another contributing factor was the rise of mass-produced Halloween costumes and decorations. These commercially available items made it easier for families to participate in the festivities, further cementing Halloween's place in American culture. The Great Depression of the 1930s, while a time of economic hardship for many Americans, paradoxically played a role in solidifying trick-or-treating as a central Halloween tradition. With limited resources available for elaborate parties, communities turned to more accessible forms of celebration. Trick-or-treating, requiring minimal expense, provided a welcome distraction for children and a way for communities to come together during a difficult time. The tradition, once sporadic and informal, began to take on a more structured format, with children following established routes and parents accompanying younger trick-or-treaters. The phrase trick or treat itself, while with origins potentially dating back to medieval souling customs, became widely popularized during this period. It encapsulated the lighthearted spirit of the tradition, suggesting a playful threat of mischief if treats were not forthcoming. The end of World War II ushered in an era of prosperity and optimism in America. This post-war boom had a profound impact on Halloween, transforming it into the commercialized spectacle we know today. The focus shifted from homemade costumes and treats to mass-produced items. Candy companies, recognizing the commercial potential of Halloween, began heavily marketing their products for the holiday. Trick-or-treating, once a relatively modest affair, exploded in popularity. Children, armed with larger bags and a growing appetite for sweets, descended upon their neighborhoods in ever-increasing numbers. This surge in trick-or-treating also brought about new concerns. Parents and community leaders, aware of the potential dangers posed by traffic and the anonymity of costumed strangers, began implementing safety measures. Setting curfews for trick-or-treating, encouraging children to stay in familiar neighborhoods, and inspecting treats for tampering became increasingly common practices. As Halloween continued to evolve in the latter half of the 20th century and into the 21st century, safety concerns remained paramount. The rise of urban legends and sensationalized media stories, often unfounded but nonetheless unsettling, heightened anxieties about Halloween safety. In response, communities and law enforcement agencies implemented a range of safety measures. Organized trunk-or-treat events, where children collect candy from decorated car trunks in controlled environments like school parking lots, gained popularity. Teal Pumpkin Project initiatives, encouraging homes to offer non-food treats for children with allergies, promoted inclusivity and awareness. Technology also played a role in enhancing Halloween safety. Smartphone apps allowed parents to track their children's whereabouts while trick-or-treating, providing an extra layer of security. Online platforms offered tips for safe costume design, emphasizing visibility and fire-retardant materials. Despite the commercialization and safety concerns that have become intertwined with modern Halloween, the enduring spirit of trick-or-treating remains. For children, it's a night of excitement, a chance to transform into fantastical characters, and indulge in a bounty of sweets. Yet, trick-or-treating represents something deeper than just costumes and candy. It's a ritual that connects generations, a shared experience that unites communities. The simple act of knocking on a neighbor's door, exchanging greetings, and receiving a treat reinforces a sense of belonging and shared humanity. For adults, trick-or-treating offers a nostalgic link to their own childhoods. a chance to relive the magic and wonder through the eyes of their children or grandchildren. It's a reminder of simpler times, a celebration of imagination, and an affirmation of the bonds that tie communities together. From its ancient Celtic origins to its modern incarnation, Halloween has transformed. Once marking the end of the harvest, it's now a night of costumes, candy, and community. Trick-or-treating, rooted in ancient customs, shows the power of human connection. Sharing treats and smiles bridges divides and reaffirms our shared humanity. As the sun sets on October 31st, remember Halloween is more than a holiday. It's a celebration of history, imagination, and the enduring human spirit. Thank you all for joining me on this look into how trick-or-treating has evolved. I hope you found this entertaining and perhaps even educational. Thank you all for the suggestions, making videos like today's possible. Also, thank you to everyone who hits the like and subscribe buttons. Those simple actions help the channel and let us know you enjoy what we are doing. We'll be back tomorrow with another interesting story. Goodbye for now.
Stop what you're doing. Riding through the darkness, cloaked in mystery and terror, the Headless Horseman has haunted folklore for centuries. Let me tell you about the Headless Horseman. This bone-chilling folklore spans both European and American tales, but it's Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow that really sets the stage. Picture this: a spectral figure on a black horse, terrorizing anyone who dares to venture out on dark, foggy nights. The Headless Horseman is said to be the spirit of a Hessian soldier, decapitated during the American Revolutionary War. Condemned to roam the earth, he's in a relentless search for his missing head. Sleepy Hollow, a quiet village, becomes a haunting ground where this ghostly rider strikes fear into the hearts of those who cross his path. Legend says, if you encounter him, run fast. Because once he sets his sights on you, there's no turning back. So, next time you hear hoofbeats in the night, remember, some legends never die. They just lose their heads.
Hello folks, and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Our topic for today is another mythical and scary creature. This time, we're looking into witches. Spellbinding and feared, witches have haunted folklore for centuries with their potions, curses, and otherworldly powers. But how did these dark figures come to dominate myth and legend? Let's dive into the spellbinding history of witches. Witches. The word whispers on the wind, conjuring images of bubbling cauldrons and midnight rituals. They are figures shrouded in mystery, woven into the fabric of our collective imagination. But what is it about these enigmatic figures that continues to fascinate us? Perhaps it's their connection to the unseen world, the whispers of magic that cling to their name. Or maybe it's the duality they represent, the unsettling blend of fear and fascination they inspire. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: the allure of witches remains as potent as ever. From ancient folklore to modern-day cinema, witches have captivated our imaginations for centuries. They are the embodiment of power, both feared and revered, their stories passed down through generations. Their world is a tapestry woven from myth and reality, where spells are cast and destinies are rewritten. Today we delve into the enigmatic world of witches, exploring their origins, their enduring presence in our culture, and the indelible mark they've left on human history. The origins of witches are shrouded in the mists of time, their roots stretching back to the dawn of civilization. Evidence suggests that belief in witchcraft existed in numerous ancient cultures, each with their own interpretations and practices. One of the earliest documented instances of witchcraft dates back to ancient Mesopotamia, around 3000 BCE. Clay tablets from this era depict sorceresses casting spells and summoning demons, highlighting the fear and fascination these figures inspired even then. In ancient Egypt, magic was an integral part of religious and social life. Individuals skilled in the magical arts, both men and women, held positions of power and influence. They were believed to possess knowledge of secret rituals and incantations, capable of healing the sick, influencing the weather, and even communicating with the gods. Similarly, ancient Greece and Rome had their own traditions of magic and sorcery. Figures like Circe and Medea, powerful enchantresses from Greek mythology, exemplified the dual nature of magic, capable of both great benevolence and terrible destruction. The image of the witch has always been a complex and often contradictory one. On one hand, witches were seen as healers, wise women, and cunning folk who possessed knowledge of herbs, potions, and the healing arts. They were often sought out by villagers for their ability to cure ailments, ward off evil, and provide guidance in times of trouble. These good witches lived in harmony with nature, drawing upon its power to help those in need. However, the witch also embodied society's deepest fears and anxieties. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, the perception of witches shifted, becoming increasingly demonized. They were accused of consorting with the devil, practicing black magic, and bringing misfortune upon their communities. This fear of witches reached its peak during the early modern period, leading to widespread witch hunts and persecutions. Traditionally, witches have been closely associated with nature and the elements. Their magic is often depicted as being drawn from the earth, the moon, and the natural world. Forests, crossroads, and other liminal spaces were seen as places of power, where the veil between the worlds was thin and magic could be more easily accessed. Witches were believed to possess an innate understanding of herbs, plants, and the cycles of nature, using this knowledge to craft potions, salves, and charms. Central to the mythology of witches are familiar spirits, supernatural entities that serve as companions and assistants. These familiars, often depicted as black cats, ravens, toads, or other animals, were believed to aid witches in their magical workings, acting as messengers, spies, and sources of power. The bond between a witch and her familiar was considered sacred and unbreakable. Rituals and ceremonies also play a significant role in the world of witches. These rituals, often conducted under the cover of night or during specific astrological alignments, are designed to channel energy, invoke spirits, and manifest desired outcomes. The Salem witch trials, which took place in colonial Massachusetts between 1692 and 1693, stand as a chilling reminder of the dangers of mass hysteria and the devastating consequences of unchecked fear. What began with a group of young girls exhibiting strange behavior quickly spiraled out of control, fueled by religious extremism, personal vendettas, and a pervasive fear of the unknown. Over 200 people were accused of witchcraft during the Salem trials, with 20 individuals, mostly women, being executed. The trials exposed the dark undercurrents of Puritan society, revealing the ease with which accusations could be made and the lack of due process afforded to the accused. The Salem witch trials serve as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of critical thinking, tolerance, and the dangers of scapegoating. And that wraps up our look into witches. What do you think? Are witches inherently good or evil? Perhaps they're neutral, but can be good or evil depending on the situation? I look forward to your comments. Thanks for joining me today. Please remember to like and subscribe. We have more eerie content coming up that you won't want to miss. Until next time.
Do you know the chilling consequences of ambition from the Frankenstein novel? Victor Frankenstein, a brilliant yet obsessive scientist, sought to unlock the secrets of life. Fueled by his thirst for knowledge, he assembled a creature from the remains of dead bodies and used science to bring it to life. But his creation, a towering, grotesque figure, became a grim symbol of his hubris. Horrified by the creature's appearance, Frankenstein abandoned his own creation. Left alone, the creature faced rejection, isolation, and loneliness. These feelings turned to anger and a thirst for revenge. The monster's desperate quest for acceptance and Frankenstein's guilt spiraled into a tragic chain of events, bringing death and destruction. This groundbreaking Gothic novel, written by Mary Shelley in 1818, explores the dire consequences of playing with forces beyond human control. Frankenstein is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the moral responsibilities of creation. The creature remains an enduring symbol of the misunderstood outcast in literature and popular culture. Remember, ambition unchecked can create monsters.
Hello folks, and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. It's that time again, and today we are looking into a creature whose very name inspires terror. The Grim Reaper. Shrouded in darkness and wielding a scythe, the Grim Reaper has long been a symbol of death itself. But what lies behind the legend of this haunting figure? Let's delve into the spine-chilling tale of the Grim Reaper. A skeletal figure, draped in darkness, eternally entwined with the concept of death. This enigmatic entity has haunted humanity's collective imagination for centuries, serving as a stark reminder of life's fleeting nature. The Reaper, often depicted as a skeletal figure wielding a scythe, embodies the transition from the world of the living to the realm of the dead. Across cultures and throughout history, the Grim Reaper has taken on various forms and names, yet the core essence remains consistent: a guide, a taker of souls, an embodiment of mortality. Today we delve into the origins, symbolism, and cultural impact of the Grim Reaper, exploring its enduring presence in art, literature, and the human psyche. The Grim Reaper's appearance is both striking and unsettling, instantly recognizable across cultures. A tall, skeletal figure often draped in a long, flowing black cloak or robe, the Reaper embodies decay and the passage of time. The skeletal face, devoid of flesh and emotion, stares out from beneath a deep cowl, a chilling reminder of the inevitability of death. In its bony hand, the Reaper clutches a large scythe, its sharp blade symbolizing the cutting short of life. This image, though often perceived as terrifying, is deeply symbolic. The skeletal frame represents the stripping away of earthly flesh, leaving only the bare essence of existence. The black cloak signifies the darkness and unknown that lie beyond the veil of death. The scythe, a tool of harvest, takes on a sinister meaning in the Reaper's hand, reaping souls instead of crops. This stark imagery, while frightening, serves as a powerful reminder of life's fragility and the inevitability of death. Pinpointing the exact origin of the Grim Reaper is a task shrouded in mystery, its roots stretching back through centuries of folklore, art, and literature. Some scholars suggest the Reaper's imagery emerged during the Black Death in 14th century Europe. This devastating pandemic, which wiped out a significant portion of Europe's population, brought death to the forefront of people's minds. The image of a skeletal figure reaping souls became a chillingly accurate representation of the plague's devastating impact. Others trace the Reaper's origins further back to ancient mythology, drawing parallels to figures like Charon from Greek mythology, the ferryman of the dead, or Thanatos, the Greek god of death. Regardless of its precise origins, the Grim Reaper solidified as a prominent figure in Western culture by the late Middle Ages, becoming an enduring symbol of death and mortality. The Grim Reaper evokes a complex range of emotions in people, from fear and dread to fascination and morbid curiosity. On one hand, the Reaper represents the ultimate unknown, the end of our earthly existence, a concept inherently unsettling to the human psyche. The fear of death, a primal and deeply ingrained instinct, is amplified by the Reaper's chilling visage and the finality it represents. On the other hand, the Grim Reaper also inspires a sense of fascination, a morbid curiosity about what lies beyond the veil of death. This morbid fascination is evident in the Reaper's prevalence in art, literature, and popular culture. People are drawn to the mystery and intrigue surrounding death, and the Grim Reaper, as its embodiment, provides a tangible focal point for these complex emotions. The Grim Reaper, with its instantly recognizable imagery and symbolic weight, has been a staple of popular culture for centuries. From classic works of literature to modern cinema, the Reaper has been reimagined and reinterpreted countless times, reflecting evolving cultural attitudes towards death and mortality. In literature, the Reaper appears in works like The Book Thief by Markus Zusak, where death itself narrates the story, offering a compassionate perspective on human suffering. In film, the Reaper takes on various forms, from the comedic, such as the character of Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, to the terrifying as seen in the film The Seventh Seal. These diverse portrayals highlight the Grim Reaper's versatility as a cultural icon, adaptable to a wide range of genres and narratives. The Grim Reaper, despite its often frightening depiction, serves as a powerful symbol of the human condition. The Reaper's presence reminds us of life's preciousness, urging us to value each moment as if it were our last. It forces us to confront our own mortality, a reality many often try to avoid. This confrontation, though uncomfortable, can be oddly liberating. By acknowledging the inevitability of death, we can learn to live more fully in the present, appreciating the time we have rather than fearing the time we don't. The Grim Reaper, in a strange way, can inspire us to live better, more meaningful lives. The Grim Reaper, while a harbinger of death, is ultimately a neutral figure, neither inherently good nor evil. It is simply a guide, a shepherd of souls, ensuring the natural order of life and death continues. The Reaper's enduring presence in human culture speaks to our enduring fascination with death and the afterlife. It serves as a constant reminder of our own mortality, urging us to live meaningful lives and cherish the time we have. Though the Grim Reaper may forever inspire a sense of fear and mystery, it also offers a profound opportunity for reflection and appreciation for the precious gift of life. That wraps up our delve into the mythical Grim Reaper. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to like and subscribe. Doing so will help us bring our eerie stories to more and more viewers and ensure they are never forgotten. Until next time.
3 wishes, 1 cursed object, and a lesson in the dangers of desire. In W. Jacobs' The Monkey's Paw, every wish granted comes with deadly consequences. Ready to explore this spine-chilling tale of fate and horror? This tale isn't for the faint-hearted. The White family stumbles upon a mystical monkey's paw, said to grant 3 wishes. Ignoring dark warnings, they tempt fate. Their first wish? Money. The result? Their son Herbert dies in a tragic accident. The compensation? The exact amount they wished for. Grief-stricken, Mrs. White demands a second wish, to bring Herbert back. Soon after, an eerie knocking at the door chills them to the bone. What waits outside? Terrified, Mr. White makes a final wish to undo the second. The knocking stops. The Monkey's Paw, a cautionary tale of twisted desires and dreadful consequences. Meddling with fate? Beware the price you pay.
Hey there folks, welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today we're going to take a peek into the origins of jack-o'-lanterns. Ever wonder why we carve pumpkins into spooky faces every Halloween? The story behind the jack-o'-lantern is filled with mischief, mystery, and a deal with the devil. Are you ready to hear the story behind this Halloween icon? Once upon a time, in Ireland, lived a cunning blacksmith named Jack. He was a man of many talents, but his greatest skill was his ability to deceive. He was known for his trickery and stinginess, earning him the nickname Stingy Jack. His reputation spread far and wide, making him both feared and respected in equal measure.
Legend has it that I tricked the devil twice. Not once, but twice I outwitted the Prince of Darkness himself.
One story tells of Jack convincing the devil to turn into a coin to pay for drinks. The devil, intrigued by Jack's audacity, agreed to the transformation.
I quickly pocketed the coin, placing it next to a silver cross. This trapped the devil, rendering him powerless and unable to escape.
Jack eventually freed the devil, making him promise not to claim his soul for 10 years. The devil, desperate to be free, reluctantly agreed to the deal. Years later, Jack tricked the devil again. This time, he was even more cunning and devious in his approach.
I convinced the devil to climb a tree for fruit. The devil, thinking it was a simple request, climbed the tree without hesitation. As he climbed, I carved a cross into the trunk, trapping him once more. The devil was furious, but he was helpless against the power of the cross.
Jack made the devil promise to spare his soul forever in exchange for his freedom. The devil, having no other choice, agreed to the terms. Years passed, and Jack died. His life of deceit and trickery had finally come to an end. Denied entry into heaven for his deceitful life, he went down to hell, but even there, he found no solace. Bound by his promise, the devil refused Jack entry. Jack was left to wander the earth, a lost soul with no place to call home. Mocking Jack, the devil gave him a burning ember to light his way in the eternal darkness. And so, Jack roamed the night, his only light a single flickering ember. Jack placed the ember inside a carved-out turnip, his favorite food. He became a restless soul, forever wandering the earth. The Irish began calling him Jack of the Lantern, later shortened to Jack-o'-lantern. His turnip lantern served as a warning, a symbol of a lost soul. People believed it would ward off evil spirits. The carved turnip became a symbol of Jack's fate. People in Ireland began carving scary faces into turnips and placing candles inside them. They used these lanterns to scare away evil spirits and guide lost souls on Halloween night. The tradition of jack-o'-lanterns was born. Irish immigrants brought the tradition of carving jack-o'-lanterns to America in the 19th century. They found that pumpkins, native to America, were larger and easier to carve than turnips. The pumpkin's bright orange color also made it a more festive choice.
Americans quickly adopted the tradition, and pumpkins became the go-to canvas for jack-o'-lanterns. The practice spread throughout the country, becoming synonymous with Halloween celebrations.
The pumpkin, with its cheerful color and association with the harvest season, blended perfectly with the developing Halloween traditions in America. Today, carving jack-o'-lanterns is a beloved Halloween ritual, especially for families. Children eagerly participate in choosing their pumpkins and designing their spooky faces. The act of carving is a fun, creative outlet. It allows people to express their creativity and embrace the spooky spirit of Halloween. Besides being fun to carve, jack-o'-lanterns serve as festive decorations. They adorn homes, schools, and businesses, illuminating the night with their warm glow. Their presence signifies the arrival of Halloween and adds to the overall festive ambiance.
The imagery of the jack-o'-lantern has transcended from a simple Halloween decoration to a powerful symbol in popular culture. These carved pumpkins with their eerie faces and flickering lights have become synonymous with the Halloween season. Their menacing grins and glowing eyes have inspired countless horror movies, from classic films like Halloween to animated features like The Nightmare Before Christmas. These iconic images have left an indelible mark on the horror genre, making jack-o'-lanterns a staple in spooky storytelling. In literature, the jack-o'-lantern often symbolizes the supernatural and the macabre. Its presence in stories can instantly set a chilling tone, hinting at ghostly apparitions and eerie happenings. Authors like Washington Irving and Edgar Allan Poe have used the imagery of glowing pumpkins to evoke feelings of unease and suspense in their stories. These literary giants have masterfully woven jack-o'-lanterns into their narratives to enhance the atmosphere of dread. The jack-o'-lantern's simple yet evocative design makes it a versatile tool for artists and storytellers to explore themes of darkness, mystery, and the unknown. Whether in film, literature, or art, the jack-o'-lantern continues to captivate and inspire, embodying the spirit of Halloween and the allure of the unknown.
The tradition of jack-o'-lanterns has endured for centuries, evolving from a superstitious practice to a beloved Halloween ritual that brings joy to many. Their appeal lies in their unique blend of spooky and festive elements, capturing the essence of Halloween. They are a reminder of the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, a time when the veil between the living and the dead was believed to be thin, adding a mystical touch to the tradition. Jack-o'-lanterns also symbolize creativity and community, as people come together to create these glowing masterpieces. Every year, families and friends gather to carve pumpkins, turning it into a cherished annual event. They share stories, laughter, and the joy of creating something unique, making the experience even more special. This shared experience strengthens bonds and creates lasting memories, ensuring the tradition of jack-o'-lanterns continues to thrive for generations to come. The spooky tale of Stingy Jack and his lantern continues to captivate our imaginations. From its humble beginnings as a flickering turnip to its modern incarnation as a globally recognized symbol of Halloween, the jack-o'-lantern represents the enduring power of folklore and tradition. As we light our pumpkins each year, we participate in an ancient ritual, celebrating the season of harvest, remembering our ancestors, and embracing the thrill of the unknown. And that's how jack-o'-lanterns came to be. Can you imagine Halloween without jack-o'-lanterns? Isn't it amazing how an Irish folktale from so long ago set the foundation for today's jack-o'-lanterns as globally recognized Halloween icons? Thanks for joining me on today's fun glimpse into the origin of jack-o'-lanterns. If you enjoyed today's video, please help the channel by clicking like and subscribe. Until next time.
Black cats crossing your path, bad omen or misunderstood myth. From witchcraft to superstition, the spooky reputation of black cats has deep roots in history. Let's explore how these mysterious felines became Halloween's ultimate symbol of superstition. The spooky origins of black cats date back to medieval times. In medieval Europe, superstitions and fear of witchcraft were everywhere. Black cats, with their stealthy nocturnal habits, became linked to witches. People believed witches could transform into black cats to sneak around unnoticed. That's why crossing paths with one was considered bad luck. During the witch trials of the 16th and 17th centuries, black cats were seen as familiars, mystical companions to witches. This creepy connection only fueled their spooky reputation. Fast forward to today, and black cats are Halloween superstars. Their mysterious allure is now a fun part of our festive Fright Nights. So next time you see a black cat, remember, they're not just cute. They're historical legends of the supernatural. Thanks for watching. If you love all things spooky, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more eerie tales.
Welcome back, folks. Today on Eerie Storytime, we're looking into a cosmic terror that debuted back in 1928. I'm talking about none other than Cthulhu. Ancient, powerful, and utterly terrifying, Cthulhu is the cosmic entity that haunts humanity's deepest nightmares. Born from H.P. Lovecraft's imagination, this creature has become a symbol of unimaginable horror. Are you ready to face the fear? Let's dive into the dark mythos of Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a monstrous cosmic entity, a being of unimaginable power and terror. It was created by H.P. Lovecraft, a master of horror fiction, whose works have left an indelible mark on the genre. Cthulhu first appeared in Lovecraft's short story, The Call of Cthulhu, in 1928, captivating readers with its chilling narrative. This story introduced the world to cosmic horror, a genre that emphasizes humanity's insignificance in the face of vast, ancient, and powerful cosmic entities that defy comprehension. Cthulhu, with its bizarre appearance and terrifying powers, became an icon of this genre, symbolizing the ultimate fear of the unknown. Lovecraft's creation of Cthulhu marked a turning point in horror literature, pushing the boundaries of what horror could be. It moved away from traditional monsters like vampires and werewolves, which were rooted in folklore and mythology. Instead, it introduced readers to a new kind of fear, the fear of the unknown and unknowable, a fear that lingers in the mind long after the story is over. This fear stemmed from the realization that humanity is just a small speck in a vast and indifferent cosmos, a cosmos filled with ancient beings beyond our understanding. Cthulhu is described as a colossal entity, towering over anything that dares to come near it. Its appearance is a grotesque combination of an octopus, a dragon, and a human, blending the most terrifying aspects of each. It has a slimy, rubbery-looking green skin that glistens in the dim light, and its head is a mass of writhing tentacles, constantly moving and shifting. Cthulhu possesses enormous claws on its hind and fore feet, capable of tearing through the strongest materials with ease. Its wings, when extended, resemble those of a bat, vast and leathery, casting a shadow that can engulf entire landscapes. This monstrous being lies in a death-like slumber in the sunken city of Relaya, located deep within the Pacific Ocean, hidden from the eyes of the world. Relaya is a city of non-Euclidean geometry, a place where the laws of physics and human comprehension break down, creating an environment that is both alien and terrifying. Cthulhu waits, dreaming, for the stars to align in a way that will allow it to rise again and plunge the world into chaos, bringing an end to the age of man and the dawn of a new, dark era. The Cthulhu mythos, the body of stories inspired by Lovecraft's work, explores themes of cosmic horror and humanity's insignificance. It suggests that the universe is a vast and indifferent place, where powerful cosmic entities exist beyond human comprehension. These entities are neither benevolent nor malevolent, they are simply indifferent to the existence of humanity. Humanity, in Lovecraft's view, is like an ant colony on the sidewalk, unaware of the humans passing by. We are insignificant creatures living in a world we barely understand, at the mercy of forces beyond our control. This cosmic indifference is a key element of the horror that pervades Lovecraft's work. When The Call of Cthulhu was first published in the pulp magazine Weird Tales in 1928, it received a mixed reception. Some readers were captivated by the story's chilling atmosphere and its exploration of cosmic horror. Others found the story's unconventional narrative style and its focus on cosmic indifference to be unsettling and difficult to grasp. Lovecraft's writing style was unique for its time. He used archaic language, complex sentence structures, and vivid descriptions to create a sense of dread and cosmic vastness. This style, while effective in conveying the themes of cosmic horror, was not immediately embraced by all readers. Lovecraft drew inspiration for his stories from various sources. He was fascinated by dreams, and often incorporated elements from his own nightmares into his writing. He was also influenced by ancient myths and legends, particularly those that dealt with monstrous creatures and forgotten civilizations. Lovecraft's own fears and anxieties also played a role in shaping his writing. He was a reclusive individual who suffered from nightmares and bouts of depression. These personal struggles found their way into his stories, adding a layer of psychological depth to his cosmic horror. Despite its initial mixed reception, H.P. Lovecraft's work has stood the test of time. The Call of Cthulhu gradually gained a cult following, captivating readers with their eerie and otherworldly themes. Over the decades, Cthulhu has become a pop culture icon, transcending the pages of literature to become a symbol of cosmic horror. It has inspired films, television shows, and has left an indelible mark on the horror genre. Video games and board games have also embraced the mythos, allowing fans to immerse themselves in Lovecraft's universe. Cthulhu has also infiltrated other forms of media, including comic books and digital art, showcasing the versatility of this terrifying entity. From the campy horror films of the 1980s, which often featured exaggerated and grotesque depictions, to the more recent psychological thrillers that delve into the human psyche and our deepest fears, Cthulhu has been reimagined and reinterpreted countless times, each iteration adding new layers to its mythos. The enduring appeal of Cthulhu lies in its ability to tap into our deepest fears about the unknown and the unknowable, evoking a sense of dread and awe. It reminds us that there are forces in the universe that we cannot control or even comprehend, making us question our place in the cosmos. That concludes our peek into the mythos of Cthulhu. What do you think about Cthulhu? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please help the channel by clicking like and subscribe. Until next time.
Ever wondered why we dunk our heads into a tub of water to catch apples on Halloween? This playful tradition has ancient roots in love, fortune, and a little bit of magic. Let's dive into the surprising origin of bobbing for apples. Picture this: ancient Celtic times. The Celts celebrated Samhain, pronounced Samhain, marking the end of the harvest. Apples were sacred symbols of fertility and abundance. Enter the Romans, who conquered the Celtic lands. They brought their apple-loving traditions, especially honoring Pomona, the goddess of fruit and orchards. Now here's where it gets interesting. Bobbing for apples wasn't just a game, it was a fortune-telling ritual. Young, unmarried folks believed if they caught an apple with their teeth, they'd predict their romantic future. Yup, it was the original love calculator. As these traditions mixed and mingled, the Celts and Romans crafted a fun, apple-bobbing Halloween game. Over centuries, it evolved from mystical predictions to the playful activity we know today. So next time you dunk your head in a bucket of apples, remember you're partaking in a tradition that's hundreds of years old. Happy bobbing, everyone.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today, we're looking into the origins of zombies. Nowadays, zombies seem to dominate our movies and TV shows, but their origins are far more chilling than fiction. From ancient voodoo rituals to viral outbreaks, let's explore how the living dead evolved into the pop culture phenomenon we know today. The concept of zombies has been around for centuries. They originated in Haitian folklore. In Haitian folklore, zombies are not mindless monsters. They are more like victims. They are individuals robbed of their free will, controlled by a powerful sorcerer known as a bokor. The bokor reanimates the dead through rituals and potions. These reanimated bodies, now zombies, were devoid of free will. The bokor used these zombies as laborers, exploiting their stolen lives. This Haitian origin story established core elements of the zombie myth. The year 1968 marked a turning point in zombie history. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead redefined the zombie genre. This low-budget film cast a long shadow over popular culture. Romero's zombies were different from their Haitian predecessors. They were mindless, flesh-eating ghouls driven by hunger. These creatures spread through bites, creating a viral pandemic scenario. The film's suspense and themes of societal collapse resonated deeply. Romero's zombies embodied fears about disease and societal collapse. Following the success of Night of the Living Dead, zombies began to rise from their graves in all forms of media. They shambled their way into movies, television shows, video games, and literature. This surge in popularity solidified the zombie's status as a cultural icon. The zombie apocalypse became a staple of the horror genre. Filmmakers and writers explored the themes of survival, loss, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable horrors. The slow, shambling zombie of Romero's films remained a popular archetype. However, new variations emerged, such as the fast, aggressive zombies seen in films like 28 Days Later. Zombies also found a home in video games. Games like Resident Evil and Left 4 Dead offered players the chance to fight off hordes of the undead in immersive and terrifying environments. The interactive nature of video games added a new dimension to the zombie experience. Players could no longer be passive observers. they had to confront the undead threat head-on. Zombie fiction extends far beyond Romero's vision. It encompasses diverse interpretations and creative explorations. Max Brooks expanded the zombie narrative with World War Z. His novel offered a gritty, realistic take on the genre. The Walking Dead captivated audiences with its character-driven narrative. It explored themes of morality, survival, and the human condition. Zombies have infiltrated popular culture in countless ways. From novels to movies and video games, the undead have left their mark. Zombies have become synonymous with Halloween. Their rotting flesh, vacant stares, and insatiable hunger make them the perfect embodiment of our collective fear of death and the unknown. Every Halloween, streets around the world transform into parades of the undead. People of all ages don tattered clothing, smear fake blood on their faces, and perfect their zombie walks, embracing the grotesque and macabre spirit of the holiday. Zombie costumes offer a unique opportunity to step outside ourselves and embrace the monstrous. For a night, we can shed our inhibitions and become creatures of pure instinct, driven by a primal hunger for brains, or in the case of trick-or-treaters, candy. Beyond costumes, zombie decorations adorn homes and businesses alike. From gruesome lawn ornaments to elaborately decorated haunted houses, the imagery of the undead reigns supreme during the Halloween season. The enduring popularity of zombies cannot be solely attributed to their entertainment value. Their presence in our collective imagination speaks to deeper anxieties and fears that permeate modern society. Zombies represent a loss of control, both on an individual and societal level. The fear of a zombie outbreak taps into our anxieties about pandemics, social unrest, and the collapse of civilization. The mindless, relentless nature of zombies reflects our fears of being overwhelmed by forces beyond our control. Zombies also embody our fear of the other. They are us, yet not us. They were once human but have been transformed into something monstrous and unrecognizable. This fear of the other is often reflected in zombie narratives that explore themes of prejudice, discrimination, and the breakdown of social order. In a world grappling with climate change, political polarization, and economic uncertainty, it is no surprise that zombies continue to resonate with audiences. They embody our deepest fears and anxieties, providing a fictional outlet for our collective unease. From their humble beginnings in Haitian folklore to their current status as global icons of horror, zombies have come a long way. Their evolution reflects changing societal anxieties and our enduring fascination with the macabre. Zombies are more than just mindless monsters. They are blank slates upon which we can project our fears, explore complex themes, and confront the fragility of human existence. As long as these fears and anxieties persist, zombies will continue to shamble their way into our books, movies, video games, and nightmares. The zombie genre, much like the undead themselves, seems to possess an uncanny ability to adapt and survive. Whether they are slow and shambling or fast and aggressive, created through voodoo magic or scientific mishaps, zombies continue to captivate audiences worldwide. Their enduring legacy serves as a testament to the power of horror to both entertain and make us confront the darkest corners of our collective imagination. And that wraps up today's look into zombies. Of all the zombies out there, from TV to film to video games or even literature, which ones do you think are the creepiest? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please help the channel by clicking on the like and subscribe buttons. Until next time.
Why do black and orange dominate Halloween decor? These colors aren't just for spooky vibes. They symbolize ancient traditions and the cycle of life and death. Let's uncover the mysterious history behind Halloween's iconic colors. Well, it all dates back to ancient Celtic traditions and the harvest season. Orange symbolizes autumn, with its changing leaves and bountiful harvests. Think pumpkins and bonfires. These were central to Samhain, pronounced Samhain, the Celtic festival marking the end of the harvest. And black? It represents death, darkness, and the coming winter. Samhain was also believed to be a time when the veil between the living and the dead was thin. Spooky, right? Together, black and orange reflect the dual themes of life and death, harvest and the supernatural. It's no wonder these colors became central to Halloween celebrations. So next time you see those iconic hues, you'll know there's more than meets the eye. Happy Halloween!
Hello all, and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today we are taking a peek into the world of gargoyles. Looming from the edges of rooftops, gargoyles have stood as eerie protectors for centuries. But are they just stone statues, or do they have a deeper, mythical origin? Let's explore the fascinating mythology behind the gargoyle. High above, shrouded in shadow, they watch. Gargoyles. Creatures of stone, frozen in eternal vigilance. Their grotesque visages leer down from cathedrals and castles, a silent testament to a time when superstition and faith were intertwined. They are the guardians of Gothic architecture, their origins steeped in myth and practicality. For centuries, these enigmatic figures have captivated our imaginations. Are they merely decorative flourishes, or do they hold a deeper significance? The truth, as with all things ancient and mysterious, is a blend of both. While their appearance may suggest a more mystical purpose, gargoyles were, first and foremost, functional elements of medieval architecture. They served as water spouts, projecting rainwater away from the building's walls. This prevented water damage to the masonry, an essential function in an era before modern drainage systems. Imagine a torrential downpour, the heavens unleashing their fury upon the earth. Water cascades down the roof of a grand cathedral, channeled through the grotesque mouths of the gargoyles. They become living fountains, spewing water far from the building's delicate stonework. But their function extended beyond the purely practical. In the medieval mind, steeped in superstition and religious fervor, gargoyles took on a more profound meaning. They were believed to possess protective powers, warding off evil spirits and malevolent forces. Their grotesque appearances, far from being purely decorative, were thought to frighten away evil. Demons and devils, upon seeing these monstrous figures guarding the building, would be filled with fear and flee. Thus the gargoyles became silent protectors, their very presence a deterrent against the unseen forces of darkness. Typically carved from stone, gargoyles often depict fantastical creatures. Demons, dragons, and mythical beasts are common motifs, their features exaggerated for maximum effect. Wide eyes stare out blindly, fangs bared in a perpetual snarl. Claws grip the stone, wings are outstretched in frozen flight. Each gargoyle is unique, a testament to the skill and imagination of the medieval craftsman. Some are grotesque and terrifying, while others possess a strange sort of beauty in their ugliness. They are a testament to the human fascination with the monstrous and the macabre. Legends abound of gargoyles coming to life at night, their stone forms awakening under the cover of darkness. Some say they stir from their stony slumber to stalk the rooftops, their eyes glowing with an eerie light, their growls echoing through the deserted streets, sending shivers down the spines of those who dare to wander at night. Others whisper of gargoyles who descend from their perches to protect the innocent or punish the wicked, their stone wings spreading wide as they glide silently through the air. These tales, passed down through generations, speak to our enduring fascination with the idea of these creatures coming to life, a blend of fear and wonder that captivates our imagination. They are a reminder that even in our modern world, where technology and science dominate, a part of us still believes in the magic and mystery lurking in the shadows, a testament to the timeless allure of the unknown. Gargoyles occupy a unique space in our collective consciousness. They are both fearsome and protective, grotesque and strangely beautiful. They represent the duality of the medieval world, a time of both great faith and deep superstition. Their enduring appeal lies in their ability to evoke a sense of wonder and unease. They are a reminder of a time when the line between the real and the imagined was blurred, and when the world was a place of both beauty and terror. The enduring fascination with gargoyles extends far beyond the medieval period. These stone sentinels, originally designed to ward off evil spirits and channel rainwater away from buildings, have transcended their architectural origins. They have become fixtures of popular culture, appearing in films, television shows, literature, and video games. Their grotesque and mysterious forms continue to inspire and intrigue. From the menacing creatures in Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, where they serve as both comic relief and protectors, to the brooding protectors in the animated series Gargoyles, who come to life at night to defend the city, these stone creatures have captured the imaginations of generations. Their presence in our stories and media speaks to a deep-seated fascination with the unknown and the protective. Their presence in modern media reflects our continued fascination with the grotesque, the mysterious, and the supernatural. The idea of ancient protectors watching over us from the shadows resonates with our desire for guardianship and mystery, making gargoyles timeless symbols in both architecture and popular culture. What are your thoughts on the mythical gargoyles? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for clicking like and subscribe. Until next time.
From harmless mischief to eerie pranks, Halloween's tradition of tricking has a long and spooky history. Ever wonder how these playful antics became part of the holiday? Let's explore the origins of Halloween's trickster spirit. It all started with ancient Celtic festivals, especially Samhain, pronounced Samhain, when folks believed spirits roamed the earth. To protect themselves, they dressed up in costumes to blend in, and played mischievous tricks to confuse or appease these wandering spirits. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and we get a twist. Kids and the poor went door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for food or money, a tradition called souling. Sounds familiar, right? Over time, this evolved into what we now know as trick-or-treating. But here's the kicker. If no treats were given, pranks were threatened. Mischief became a central part of Halloween festivities, and boy do we love it. From ancient spirits to modern-day shenanigans, Halloween's prankster roots run deep. So next time you play a trick, remember, you're part of a spooky, mischievous tradition that's centuries old. Happy haunting!
Hello everyone and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. More importantly, Happy Halloween 2024 to all. Today we are taking a look into what many people consider to be one of the scariest movies ever made, especially back when it was released in 1978. That's right, I'm talking about the original Halloween film from 1978, directed by John Carpenter. We'll explore the origins and inspiration behind the iconic film. We'll learn how director John Carpenter and producer Deborah Hill crafted the chilling story of Michael Myers, drawing on urban legends, childhood fears, and classic suspense techniques. Let's dive right in. The year is 1978. A low-budget, independent horror film creeps onto the big screen, forever changing the landscape of horror cinema. This film, directed by a then-unknown John Carpenter, was Halloween. It introduced the world to Michael Myers, a masked figure of pure evil, who would go on to become a horror icon. Halloween was more than just a scary movie. It was a game-changer, a film that resonated with audiences and critics alike. Halloween terrified audiences with its suspenseful pacing, minimalist score, and relentless villain. The film's success lay not in graphic gore but in its ability to tap into primal fears, creating a palpable sense of dread and unease. The use of point-of-view shots put the audience directly in the shoes of both the stalker and the stalked, amplifying the terror. Halloween redefined the slasher genre, influencing countless films that followed. Its impact on popular culture is undeniable, with the film's imagery, characters, and themes becoming instantly recognizable. The film's legacy extends beyond the screen, influencing Halloween celebrations, inspiring merchandise, and solidifying its place in cinematic history. Halloween introduced the world to Michael Myers, a character whose name alone sends chills down the spines of horror fans worldwide. Michael's backstory, a disturbed child who murders his sister on Halloween night, established a chilling origin for the boogeyman. His signature mask, a pale, emotionless visage, became a symbol of pure evil and has remained largely unchanged throughout the franchise. Michael's character tapped into a primal fear of the unknown and the unstoppable. He was not a monster motivated by revenge or anger, but by something far more sinister and unexplainable, pure evil. This lack of motive made him all the more terrifying, his actions unpredictable and relentless. The film's director, John Carpenter, envisioned a new kind of horror villain, one devoid of a tragic backstory or sympathetic qualities. Michael was a force of nature, an embodiment of pure evil that could strike anywhere at any time. This concept, revolutionary at the time, resonated with audiences, cementing Michael Myers as one of horror's most enduring villains. Halloween arrived when horror films were dominated by supernatural threats and monsters. Its grounded approach, focusing on a human-like villain, offered a terrifyingly realistic take. Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, was resourceful and intelligent. This subversion of expectations resonated with audiences. The film's low-budget aesthetic enhanced its gritty realism. Halloween was a cultural phenomenon, ushering in a new era of horror. John Carpenter, a name synonymous with horror, wasn't always destined to be the genre's maestro. Born in Carthage, New York in 1948, Carpenter's early life was steeped in the fantastical. His father, a music professor, instilled in him a deep appreciation for music, a passion that would later become a defining element of Carpenter's films. As a child, Carpenter was drawn to the macabre, captivated by the horror films of the 1950s, particularly the works of Alfred Hitchcock. These early influences ignited a spark in the young Carpenter, a fascination with the power of cinema to terrify and thrill. Carpenter's journey into filmmaking began at Western Kentucky University, where he majored in film. His early short films, including the science fiction comedy Dark Star, 1974, showcased his raw talent and unique vision. However, it was his breakout film, Assault on Precinct 13, 1976, a gritty, action-packed thriller that caught the attention of Hollywood and established Carpenter as a filmmaker to watch. Despite his growing success, Carpenter remained drawn to the horror genre, a genre he believed had the power to tap into our deepest fears and anxieties. With Halloween, Carpenter set out to create a film that would not only terrify audiences, but also redefine the slasher genre, infusing it with a sense of dread and psychological complexity that had been largely absent from previous films in the genre. While John Carpenter is often credited as the sole creative force behind Halloween, the film's success is also due in large part to the contributions of co-writer Deborah Hill. Hill, a talented screenwriter and producer, brought her own unique perspective to the project, shaping the film's characters and themes in significant ways. Hill's contributions were particularly instrumental in the development of Laurie Strode, the film's resourceful and relatable protagonist. Carpenter and Hill's collaboration was a true partnership, their creative synergy evident in the film's tight pacing, suspenseful atmosphere, and well-developed characters. Hill's understanding of character motivation and her ability to craft dialogue that felt both realistic and chilling proved invaluable to the film's success. Together, Carpenter and Hill created a horror classic that would endure for decades, inspiring countless filmmakers and terrifying generations of moviegoers. The partnership between Carpenter and Hill extended beyond Halloween. They would go on to collaborate on several other successful films, including The Fog, 1980, Escape from New York, 1981, and Christine, 1983, solidifying their status as a dynamic duo in the world of genre filmmaking. Hill's contributions to Carpenter's films were not limited to screenwriting. She also served as a producer on many of their projects, bringing her sharp eye for detail and her unwavering commitment to quality to every aspect of the filmmaking process. Hill is from the town of Haddonfield, New Jersey, which served as an inspiration to the fictional town of Haddonfield, Illinois, where the events from the Halloween film take place. Halloween didn't emerge from a creative vacuum. It drew inspiration from a tapestry of sources, weaving together elements of classic horror films, personal experiences, and even a real-life encounter. One of the most significant influences on Carpenter was the work of Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense. Hitchcock's films, with their emphasis on psychological tension, voyeurism, and ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances, left an indelible mark on Carpenter's filmmaking sensibilities. Carpenter has often cited Hitchcock's Psycho, 1960, as a major inspiration for Halloween. The film's use of point-of-view shots, its unsettling score, and its exploration of the dark side of suburbia all found their way into Carpenter's vision for Halloween. However, Carpenter sought to create something new, a film that honored the legacy of Hitchcock while forging its own path in the horror genre. Beyond Hitchcock, Carpenter drew inspiration from his own childhood experiences and fears. Carpenter's idea of a masked killer stalking a small town on Halloween night originated from a childhood memory. Carpenter once had a disturbing encounter with a mentally ill patient during a visit to a psychiatric institution. This experience, coupled with Carpenter's fascination with the macabre, planted the seeds for what would become Halloween. Halloween unfolds in the seemingly idyllic town of Haddonfield, Illinois, a fictional setting synonymous with the film's chilling atmosphere. It draws heavily on real American suburbs, capturing a quiet community on the brink of horror. Filming took place in South Pasadena, California, evoking the autumnal atmosphere envisioned for Haddonfield. The town's ordinariness, shattered by violence, heightened the film's impact. Haddonfield became a microcosm of suburban America, taking on a life of its own in the hearts of horror fans. Featured in numerous sequels, each adding to its mythology. Halloween's themes of violence and voyeurism echo real-life fears. The film coincided with a growing fascination with true crime. The 70s saw high-profile serial killer cases, shocking the nation. Carpenter and Hill tapped into this unease, reflecting societal anxieties. Michael Myers embodied a primal fear of the unknown. He was a force of nature, driven by dark impulses. The film's voyeurism reflected real-life privacy concerns. Suburban living's illusion of safety was shattered. Halloween's legacy taps into primal fears, resonating with audiences. Few horror movie props have become as iconic as Michael Myers' mask. The stark white face, devoid of any discernible emotion, has sent chills down the spines of moviegoers for decades. The mask's simplicity is perhaps its most unsettling feature, a blank slate onto which viewers project their own fears and anxieties. The mask's origins are surprisingly humble. It was a Captain Kirk mask, purchased for less than $2, that production designer Tommy Lee Wallace found in a Hollywood costume shop. Wallace spray-painted the mask white, widened the eyes, and removed the eyebrows, transforming a benign image of a science fiction hero into a chilling visage of pure evil. The mask's blankness is key to its effectiveness. It reflects nothing back at the viewer, offering no insight into the mind of the killer behind it. This lack of expression makes Michael Myers all the more terrifying, his motivations unknowable, his actions unpredictable. The mask becomes a symbol of pure evil, a blank slate onto which viewers project their own deepest fears. The mask's impact extends far beyond the Halloween franchise. It has become a staple of Halloween costumes, a ubiquitous symbol of horror recognized around the world. The mask's simple yet effective design has inspired countless imitations and variations, cementing its status as one of the most iconic and enduring images in horror cinema. Halloween's initial release was met with a curious mix of reactions from film critics. Some lauded its suspenseful direction and Carpenter's ability to create dread with minimal gore. Others dismissed it as exploitative and criticized its perceived lack of substance. Roger Ebert acknowledged the film's effectiveness in generating scares, but questioned its moral compass. Pauline Kael referred to Halloween as a cheesy exploitation flick. Despite mixed reviews, some critics recognized Halloween as something special. While critical reception to Halloween was divided, audiences responded with overwhelming enthusiasm. The film, made on a shoestring budget of $325,000, became a surprise box office smash, grossing over $70 million worldwide. This unexpected success made Halloween one of the most profitable independent films ever made at the time, cementing its status as a cultural phenomenon. Several factors contributed to Halloween's box office success. The film's release coincided with the rise of the slasher genre, capitalizing on a growing appetite for horror films that offered suspense, thrills, and a healthy dose of gore. Halloween's marketing campaign, with its iconic poster featuring a menacing Michael Myers lurking in the shadows, effectively tapped into the zeitgeist, promising audiences a terrifying cinematic experience. Word of mouth also played a significant role in the film's success. Audiences, captivated by the film's suspenseful atmosphere and terrifying villain, spread the word, turning Halloween into a must-see event. The film's low-budget origins only added to its appeal, with many viewers drawn to its gritty realism and relatable characters. Halloween's box office triumph proved that horror films, often dismissed as a niche genre, could be both commercially successful and culturally relevant. The film's success paved the way for a wave of slasher films, ushering in a new era of horror cinema that would dominate the box office throughout the 1980s. Halloween's success led to numerous sequels and reboots. Halloween 2 solidified Michael Myers' mythology. Recent films like Halloween 2018 reinvented the franchise for new generations. The franchise's enduring power lies in its ability to evolve. Rumor has it there is yet another reboot coming. The franchise is indeed still slashing. Michael Myers' image is plastered on endless merchandise. Michael Myers' mask marked a shift in Halloween iconography. The costume's simplicity and adaptability ensure its popularity. It represents a cultural shift in our relationship with horror. The iconic score by John Carpenter still sends tingles down our backs over 40 years later. Halloween altered the atmosphere of Halloween night, taking the holiday back to its macabre roots. The film's depiction of suburban terror added suspense to trick-or-treating. Decorations took on new eerie meanings inspired by the film, redefining the holiday as a celebration of fear and fright. That concludes our glimpse into the story behind the story of the 1978 Halloween film. I remember watching this movie as a young child, and it was the scariest thing I had ever seen. To this day, I still rank the original 1978 Halloween movie as one of the scariest ever. What are your thoughts on the original movie? If there is another reboot on the way, will you watch it? Let me know down in the comments, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. Happy Halloween, everyone. May you receive more treats than tricks.